How to handle betrayal, a Stoic approach. Betrayal is a powerful force, but it doesn't define us. Instead, it reveals our true selves and our capacity for growth. Take a moment to truly internalize this, my friends. It's an important realization. Today, we're delving into a topic that many people shy away from: the raw, unfiltered truth about betrayal. We're going to confront it head-on and explore its impact. I understand the pain it causes. I know the weight of betrayal when someone you trusted turns their back on you, leaving you with unanswered questions and a sense of betrayal. But here's the crucial part: I need your full attention right now. Don't even consider leaving this discussion. Don't tell yourself you'll revisit it later. Stay with me, because what we're about to uncover will forever change your perspective on betrayal. This isn't your typical feel-good talk, it's a revelation, a truth that has been hidden from you. The lie we've been sold is that betrayal requires an immediate reaction, that we must retaliate, defend ourselves, and make the betrayer feel our pain. But the Stoic truth is this: betrayal doesn't demand a reaction, it demands our evolution. It challenges us to grow, to become stronger, and to learn from the experience. If you don't confront the pain of betrayal, you'll remain trapped in a cycle of anger and reactivity, wasting your energy on people who have already shown you their true nature. Betrayal is like a deep, sharp wound that leaves you reeling. But what's often overlooked is that the wound itself isn't the most damaging part, it's the infection that follows. The bitterness, the desire for revenge, and the constant questioning of why and how can consume you from the inside out. However, you have the power to prevent this infection from spreading. You're here because a part of you recognizes that it's time to break free from this cycle. So, I urge you to stay with me and not let your desire to avoid the truth distract you. What we're about to explore will liberate you. Imagine a warrior who has been through battles and is covered in scars. Those scars aren't a sign of weakness, they're a testament to their survival and strength. They're proof that they've faced hell and emerged victorious. By facing your own pain and betrayal, you can emerge stronger and wiser, with scars that tell a story of resilience and triumph. You carry those scars, visible or not, and today, we transform them from symbols of suffering into emblems of strength. I hear the inner critic, but if I remain silent, they might think they escaped accountability. Fear and ego are trying to speak up, but silence is the most powerful response to someone who has wronged you. It forces them to confront their actions while you ascend above them. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." This Stoic approach, standing on the high ground, is how you truly triumph. However, I must be honest with you, this journey is not without its challenges. Betrayal can twist and turn you, making you question your self-worth. That's precisely why you should not click away from this video. Do not let betrayal continue to hold any power over you. I will guide you through the process of converting that pain into a driving force for your personal growth. Repeat after me, my friends: I emerge stronger from betrayal. Say it with conviction. And don't stop there. Write it in the comments. I want the world to see that you're reclaiming your power today. Hit that like button if this resonates with you. If you feel deep down that this is your moment to rise, subscribe because we're about to explore the exact way to respond when you're betrayed. The Stoic way, the powerful way. Stay with me. This is going to change everything. Number 1, betrayal isn't about you, it's about their character. When someone betrays you, the betrayal doesn't reflect your worth. It reveals their character. Let that sink in, my friends. Because this is where most people get stuck, going in circles, asking the wrong questions. What did I do wrong? Was I not enough? Did I deserve this? And I understand. When someone betrays you, the wound goes deeper than just damaged trust, it reaches right into your very sense of identity. Suddenly, you start questioning your worth, wondering if perhaps you somehow deserved this pain or brought it upon yourself. But here's the truth: this is one of the most harmful lies that betrayal can make you believe. The idea that you are at fault, that you could have prevented it, is simply not true. Today, let's unravel that falsehood for good. Betrayal is never truly about you or your shortcomings. Instead, it speaks volumes about the person who chose to betray. It reveals their own unresolved issues, their vulnerabilities, and their moral failings, not yours. Picture this: you are standing in front of a mirror that's riddled with cracks. No matter how put together you are or how much effort you've put into yourself, the image staring back at you is warped and shattered. The distortion isn't caused by you, it's the damaged glass, the mirror itself, that's responsible for the twisted reflection. In this scenario, the betrayer is the broken mirror. Their personal weaknesses, fears, and lack of honesty are what have made your current reality seem so confusing and painful. Yet, if you spend too much time looking at your reflection in that damaged mirror, you might begin to believe that you are the one who is somehow flawed. Remember, the imperfections you see are not your own. They belong to the one who broke your trust. With this perspective, you can start the journey of healing, understanding that you are not defined by someone else's choices or actions. At some point, you might begin to think that you are the one who's broken, that there's something fundamentally wrong with you. And this is actually where the real harm resides, not so much in the betrayal itself, but in the internal narrative you create in response. These stories can convince you that you weren't good enough, that if only you had acted smarter, been kinder, shown more patience or somehow changed your approach, the betrayal could have been avoided. But here's what's important to realize: their act of betrayal exposes something about them, not about you. It highlights their vulnerabilities, reveals a lack of courage, demonstrates an inability to appreciate and cherish what you provided, and ultimately, it shows their own imperfections and what they reflect in the world, not yours. I understand if you're wondering, if it isn't about me, then why does it hurt so much? That question makes complete sense. Betrayal pains us deeply, not only because of what the other person did, but also because of the trust and affection you freely gave them. You offered your heart and loyalty, and it was carelessly dropped or even shattered. Of course, it feels intensely personal. But here's a resilient and wise perspective: their betrayal is a mirror of their own character and decisions, their flaws, not a measure of your worth. Let me offer you another way to think about it. Imagine yourself as a solid stone, strong, whole, and steady. Picture someone hurling mud at you. Does that mud stain your essence? No, it merely clings to your surface, perhaps making you feel momentarily soiled or less than you truly are. But remember, that mud is not who you are. It's a representation of their betrayal, their mess, their failure to treat you with the respect you deserved. Here's where it becomes complicated. If you linger in that mud for too long, you might begin to mistake it for your true self. But let me assure you, it never was, and it never will be a part of you. I understand the creeping fear that comes with betrayal. You might find yourself asking, what if I really wasn't enough? What if my actions pushed them away? What if I caused this? These are the insidious lies that betrayal plants in your mind, convincing you that you are the problem. That you must shrink, bend, and fix yourself to prevent future betrayals. But the truth is, the mud, the betrayal, is not yours to bear. It's theirs to own and to clean up. You are the stone, enduring and unchanged by the actions of others. Let me share a different perspective with you. Individuals who embody honesty and strong moral values rarely choose to deceive or harm others. Those with genuine character consistently show up, communicate openly, and remain committed even during difficult times. They don't abandon you when the going gets tough. So when betrayal tries to paint a story about you, remember, it's not a reflection of your true self. It's a distorted image of someone else's flaws. Here's a powerful quote that captures this truth: how people treat you is their karma. How you respond is yours. This comes from Wayne Dyer. What does that mean? It means you can't control the cracks in someone else's mirror, whether they're whole or broken. But you can decide how you interpret their reflection. You can choose to carry their flaws as part of your identity or let go of that burden. Right now, we're choosing to release that weight. And yes, it's challenging. I'm not here to sugarcoat the difficulty of walking away from someone who has betrayed you. It's not just about losing them, it's about shedding the version of yourself that believed they'd never act that way. This process requires courage, but it's essential for reclaiming your authenticity. Let's take a moment to acknowledge the pain you're feeling right now. It's the current version of yourself that's hurting, but here's the thing, the person you'll become after this experience, the one who rises from the ashes of betrayal, will be stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. However, to get to that point, we need to shatter the illusion that you're somehow to blame for what happened. We must break free from the lie that says you deserved this, that it was somehow a reflection of your worth. The truth is, it wasn't about you at all. The betrayal reveals the character of the person who hurt you, not yours. So, let's say it together, their betrayal reveals them, not me. Repeat it with me, louder this time, and let the words sink deep into your heart. Don't just stop at saying it, though, write it down in the comments, share it with others, and show the world that you're done carrying the burden of someone else's flaws. If this message resonates with you, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more, because we're just getting started. In our next discussion, we'll dive even deeper into the topic of how you respond to betrayal, and how that response holds the key to your true power. So, stay with me, friends, as we explore this journey of healing and growth together. The second important thing to remember is that your reaction to betrayal is where your true power lies. There exists a crucial interval between a stimulus and our response to it. Within this interval lies our ability to make choices regarding how we respond. It is in our responses that we find opportunities for personal growth and the essence of our freedom. This profound insight comes from Viktor Frankl, a remarkable individual who endured unimaginable hardships yet emerged with a steadfast grip on the one thing that remained untouchable, his response to those hardships. This concept is central to our discussion today. Your reaction is where your true power resides. It is within this interval that you can decide whether to allow feelings of betrayal to consume you or to transform that experience into a foundation for something more resilient. I understand that this can be incredibly challenging. When someone betrays your trust, every part of you may urge you to react impulsively. Your thoughts may race, your heart may race, and the urge to confront the person who has wronged you can be overwhelming. You might feel compelled to expose them, to drag them into the chaos they have caused, and to make them acknowledge the hurt they have inflicted. However, this is precisely where your true strength lies. The moment you choose not to relinquish your peace to them, envision this, a fierce fire, wild and uncontrollable, raging through everything in its path. It devours whatever it comes into contact with. Picture a wildfire roaring out of control. That blaze is what an unfiltered emotional reaction looks like, anger, pain, and revenge fanning the flames until you are the one getting scorched. When the smoke clears, you are left standing in the charred remains of your own calm. Now, shift the scene to a wide, steady river. It moves with quiet determination, shaping mountainsides and carving canyons without ever needing to thunder or crash. Its strength is in its consistency. That river can be you. When you safeguard your inner power and allow your reply to flow from composure instead of raw impulse, you become just as transformative and far more stable. I can almost hear the protest, but I have to speak up. I have to defend myself. If I stay silent, they win. That internal alarm is fear talking, convincing you that stillness equals surrender. Let me turn that belief on its head. Explosive reacting is not victory, it is simply handing the other person the remote control to your emotions. By matching their chaos, you stay shackled to their betrayal. Freedom begins the moment you pause, ground yourself, take a slow breath, and answer deliberately. It might feel counterintuitive, especially if you are new to this practice, but that deliberate space between stimulus and response is where true strength lives. Stoic philosophers called it mastering the self, modern psychology calls it emotional regulation. Whatever label you prefer, the message is the same, respond from intention, not from turbulence, and you remain the architect of your own peace. The teachings of the Stoics emphasize an important principle: while you cannot dictate the events that occur around you, you do have the power to govern your internal responses. As Epictetus famously stated, what truly matters is not the events that befall you, but rather how you choose to respond to them. Take, for instance, the experience of betrayal. This is an event that happens to you, something beyond your control. However, your response to that betrayal is entirely within your grasp. This is where your true strength lies. It is the one aspect of your experience that no act of betrayal, no individual, and no situation can strip away from you, unless you choose to relinquish it. To illustrate this concept further, consider the game of chess. Each move made by your opponent is something you cannot influence. However, the way you decide to maneuver your pieces is completely up to you. Now, picture a scenario where your opponent makes a hasty move, sacrificing a piece in a way that seems unwise. This act can be likened to betrayal. It catches you off guard and may leave you feeling unsettled. If, in that moment, you react impulsively, perhaps by flipping the board in frustration and shouting, you have already set yourself up for defeat. On the other hand, if you take a moment to pause, assess the situation, and contemplate your next move, you position yourself for success in the long run. Life, after all, is akin to a long game of chess. Yet, the challenge lies in the fact that reacting is often the easier path to take. It requires little thought and can be driven by emotion. In contrast, responding thoughtfully demands patience and clarity, which can be more difficult to achieve. This is why navigating our reactions can feel so challenging. The reaction is immediate. In that moment, it brings a sense of relief and satisfaction. However, this is where the danger lies. Once that initial excitement fades, you are left to deal with the consequences of your actions, holding on to your response. This requires a great deal of self-discipline, inner strength, and belief in your own abilities. But believe me, the effort is truly worthwhile. Now, let me share another hard-hitting truth with you. The person who reacts impulsively is the one who loses control of the situation. Reacting signifies that you are engaging in their game rather than your own. On the other hand, when you respond thoughtfully, from a place of tranquility and confidence, you are the one who establishes the rules. You are the one in charge of the situation. I understand that remaining silent can feel uncomfortable at first. It may seem like you are standing still while chaos swirls around you. But here's an important point to keep in mind: the chaos will eventually subside. When that moment arrives, you'll emerge even stronger, wiser, and unshaken. Take a deep breath with me, friends, and let this truth sink deep into your core. Repeat it aloud: my response is my power. Keep saying it until it resonates in your bones. Don't just speak it, share it below to inspire others. Demonstrate through your words and actions that you're done letting pain or knee-jerk reactions steer your decisions. If this mindset speaks to you today, join our community by liking this post and subscribing. Why? Because in our next discussion, we'll explore how quiet strength, not heated words, becomes your most powerful ally when facing dishonesty. This isn't just philosophy, it's emotional self-preservation. Stick around, because what's coming will redefine how you handle life's toughest moments. Now, about silence as your ultimate response to betrayal. It's the unwavering companion that shields your peace. By choosing stillness over retaliation, you reclaim control and let your poise speak volumes, a masterclass in dignity that no harsh words can match. As we reflect on the timeless wisdom of Confucius, let's acknowledge the profound truth he shares with us. Right now, you might feel an overwhelming urge to confront the person who betrayed you, to demand closure and an explanation. But let's challenge this assumption. You don't need to justify yourself to someone who has already demonstrated a lack of respect for your words. You don't need to engage with someone who has already revealed their true character. And as for closure, it's a myth that's often perpetuated. The idea that a specific apology, explanation, or words of comfort can restore your sense of wholeness is a misconception. In reality, closure comes from within. Let me illustrate this concept with a vivid analogy. Imagine yourself standing at the entrance of a long, dimly lit hallway. Behind you, the person who betrayed you is yelling, pleading, or perhaps remaining silent, pretending nothing happened. But you're not looking back. You're not waiting for them to make things right. Instead, you're walking towards the door at the end of the hall, the one that leads to a brighter, more peaceful space. As you approach the door, you turn the handle, and what do you hear? The sound of silence. The sound of freedom. The sound of closure, not from someone else's words, but from your own inner peace. Long after the apologies fade and the excuses vanish, it's the actions that echo through our lives, not the words. Imagine your response as a door you can choose to close. That door represents your silence and your personal boundary. On the other side, their conscience is left to reverberate with the impact of what they've done. When you try to confront someone repeatedly, venting, demanding explanations or apologies, you're still standing in that hallway of disappointment, feeding them your energy and hoping they'll fix what they broke. In a way, you keep replaying the same scene for both of you. But the moment you close that door and shift into silence, you stop giving them your emotional fuel. Instead, you allow them to sit alone with the weight of their actions. And believe me, that kind of silence can feel thunderous. You might hear a little voice in your head insisting, "I have to tell them how much they hurt me. They need to understand." That urge is born of fear, the fear that your healing depends on their recognition or remorse. But here's the liberating truth: your recovery and peace of mind do not rest on them grasping the full extent of your pain. Your healing journey is yours alone, and it begins the moment you decide not to replay their mistakes for their benefit. Finding your path to recovery is fundamentally tied to letting go of any expectation that the other individual will take specific actions or offer particular words to facilitate that healing. It's a challenging truth, but a necessary one to grasp. Let's explore this idea with a simple analogy. Picture a perfectly calm body of water, like a serene pond. Now, imagine tossing a small pebble into its surface. Immediately, concentric circles begin to radiate outwards from the point of impact, expanding across the water's surface. Yet, the pebble itself? It doesn't stay afloat. It quickly descends, sinking down and vanishing from sight beneath the water. Now, let's relate this back to your situation. Think of your attempts to communicate, your words, your explanations, your pleas. These are like those ripples spreading across the pond. You might send them out, earnestly hoping they'll reach the other person, hoping they'll somehow make a difference or elicit a desired response. But here's the crucial, often painful, truth: the pebble, the original event, the betrayal, the hurt, has already sunk. It's a past occurrence, fixed and unchangeable. Just as no amount of surface disturbance from ripples can magically lift that sunken pebble back up, no amount of talking, explaining, or arguing can undo what has already happened. What remains after the ripples fade? A return to stillness, a profound silence. This is precisely where ancient Stoic philosophy provides a transformative insight. The Stoic philosophers deeply understood a fundamental truth: so many aspects of life, particularly the actions, opinions, and behaviors of other people, along with external circumstances, lie completely outside the realm of our direct influence. However, they also recognized that one vital area is entirely within our domain: our own internal response, our thoughts, our judgments, and our choices about how we react. As the great Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius famously wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. Bringing this back to our situation, consider silence not as defeat or giving up, but as a deliberate, potent expression of this internal power. Choosing silence in the face of external turmoil is a declaration. It says, clearly and powerfully, I am choosing not to engage with this external chaos. I am choosing not to expend my energy fighting battles that ultimately cannot be won or that do not contribute to my well-being. Let's be honest, I'm not here to suggest that remaining silent is a simple task. Resisting the urge to speak, choosing to walk away, refraining from sending that message, or deciding against making that phone call can feel incredibly challenging. It's akin to the sensation of holding your breath while submerged in water. It's as if you are frozen in place, while every part of you is urging to express your thoughts. However, here's an important insight, my friends: the most difficult decisions often carry the greatest power. Choosing silence is indeed a choice. It does not signify weakness, rather, it embodies strength. It represents your decision to prioritize your own peace amidst the turmoil of others. Let me share another important truth with you. The individual who first breaks the silence is typically the one seeking to regain control. But remember, you don't need to exert control over them. Your focus should be on mastering your own reactions. That self-control is, in fact, the most impactful response you can offer. So, take a moment to absorb this idea. Allow it to resonate within you. Repeat after me, right here and right now: my silence is my strength. Now, say it with even more conviction. Let the sound of your truth resonate within you, much like the echo of a door that remains shut. But don't stop there, take it a step further. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Let others see your voice. Let yourself be seen. Demonstrate to the world that your choice to remain silent is not a sign of weakness, but rather a powerful declaration. If this message resonates with you, please give it a thumbs up. And if you find value in what you're hearing, consider subscribing, because next, we will delve into the concept of walking away, not as a sign of surrender, but as an affirmation of self-worth. Stick with me, my friends, we are just beginning to explore these deeper themes. Now, let's discuss the idea that walking away is not a sign of frailty. It is, in fact, a testament to your self-respect. Think of a lion that doesn't flinch when a dog barks. Allow that thought to settle in for a moment, my friends. Embrace the significance of that statement. At this very moment, you may find yourself caught in a conflict that you did not initiate, confronting feelings of betrayal, disrespect, or even humiliation. Every fiber of your being might urge you to turn back, to engage in a confrontation, to justify your actions to those who have wronged you. However, I want to share a truth that many overlook: walking away is not a sign of defeat, it is a demonstration of self-respect. Society often teaches us that standing firm equates to fighting back. It suggests that if you choose to walk away, you are somehow conceding defeat. You might have heard the notion that if you don't retaliate to every bark, insult, or betrayal, you're perceived as weak, fearful, or defeated. However, let's challenge that idea right now. Consider the lion, which doesn't bother with barking dogs. Lions don't need to. They are aware of their own strength and don't feel compelled to prove it. In this narrative, you are the lion. Picture this: you're standing tall amidst a raging storm. The wind is roaring, debris is swirling around, and voices are shouting at you from every direction. You can't stop the storm, nor can you silence the voices. But you have a choice: to stand there and endure it all, or to step away from the chaos, seeking shelter to safeguard your inner peace. Choosing to walk away isn't about giving up, it's about prioritizing yourself over the turmoil. Yet, I understand the voice in your head that whispers doubts. If I step away, they'll think they've won. They'll see me as weak. That's your ego speaking. Walking away is an act of self-care and strength, not a sign of defeat. We have all been misled by the notion that we must justify ourselves, demonstrate our worth, or always have the final say. However, the essence of Stoicism reveals a different perspective. Your energy does not need to validate itself to anyone else. Choosing to walk away from a situation does not signify weakness, rather, it indicates that you have prioritized your own peace over the turmoil of others. It reflects your understanding that your future holds greater significance than remaining entangled in someone else's chaos. Let me share a metaphor that will resonate deeply. Imagine yourself as a pristine cup of water. Each time you engage with negativity, whether through arguments, justifications, or defending yourself to someone who fails to appreciate you, it's akin to allowing them to pour ink into your cup. Gradually, that once clear water becomes clouded and unappealing. However, when you choose to walk away, When you refuse to let their disorder invade your space, you maintain the clarity of your water and safeguard your inner peace. Now, let's consider the psychological shift that occurs here. Opting for your own well-being over chaos is a profound act of self-love. It communicates a powerful message: I am not open to this kind of energy. It is an acknowledgement that not every situation warrants your emotional investment, your attention, or your time. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This is precisely what walking away accomplishes. It sets you apart from them. It allows you to remain elevated and focused on your own journey, rather than getting sidetracked by theirs. But let's be clear, I won't gloss over the reality of this choice. Choosing to walk away can be incredibly challenging. It often feels like you are abandoning a battle, especially when every part of you is urging you to fight back. It can feel like a deep silence envelopes you, even as your heart yearns to express itself. However, it's important to keep this in mind: a lion does not stoop to engage with a barking dog. Instead, the lion strides forward, unaffected and invulnerable. Let me share another important insight with you: you are not obligated to be present for anyone. This includes those who have betrayed your trust, those who have shown you disrespect, and those who have revealed their true nature in a negative light. By walking away, you are establishing your own standards. You are making a powerful statement that your peace of mind is not something to be compromised. So, at this moment, let's solidify this understanding together. Let's root ourselves in this empowering truth. Repeat after me, right here and now: I protect my peace. Say it with conviction. Let your voice resonate like a lion's roar carried by the wind. And remember, this is just the beginning. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Display your resolve. Display your strength. Let the world see that you are no longer willing to expend your energy on chaos. If you're ready to take control, go ahead and hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe, because next, we're exploring how detachment can unveil the true purpose of certain people in your life. Trust me, you won't want to miss this insightful journey. Number 5 on our list: detachment reveals their true role in your life. Sometimes, clinging to something can cause more harm than letting it go. Allow that idea to sink in for a moment, because I understand how challenging this next step can feel. Detachment. Just the word itself can evoke strong emotions, can't it? It might feel like giving up, like surrendering, like losing something you fought so hard to keep. But let me assure you, today we're going to explore a different perspective. Detachment isn't about losing, it's about revealing. It's about uncovering who is truly meant to be in your life and who is only there to teach you a valuable lesson. Imagine this: picture sand slipping through your fingers. You can squeeze it as tightly as you want, grip it with all your might. But no matter how hard you try, it will still slip away. This is a metaphor for the things in life that are not meant to stay. When you try to hold on too tightly, you might miss out on the lessons and the people who are truly meant for you. It's like trying to hold on to water with your hands: it's impossible. So, let go and see what comes your way. Embrace the idea that detachment can be a powerful tool for growth and understanding. The more tightly you grip something, the quicker it tends to slip away from you. Conversely, when you choose to relax your hold and open your hand, the sand that is meant to remain will settle comfortably in your palm. It doesn't require any force or a tight grasp to stay, it simply exists there because it is meant to. On the other hand, the grains of sand that fall through your fingers are not meant for you to keep. Think about that person you are desperately trying to hold on to, the one who has betrayed your trust, disrespected you, and revealed their vulnerabilities. The harder you try to cling to them, the more you risk losing yourself in the process. Here's a misconception that many people fall for: the belief that you must hold on tightly to demonstrate your worth. You might think that if you love them more deeply, give more of yourself, and show them just how much you care, they will recognize your value and choose to stay. However, my friends, this is a deceptive trap. This mindset can keep you ensnared in relationships and situations that are draining your energy and spirit. Let me help you reframe that misconception. Letting go does not signify that you were insufficient, rather, it is a testament to your understanding of your own worth. Detachment is the conscious decision to say, I have faith that what is truly meant for me will remain without any force. I believe that my value is not dependent on someone else's ability to acknowledge it. Embracing this perspective is a powerful move. I can imagine the thoughts racing through your mind right now. You might be wondering, what happens if I let go and they never return? What if I release my grip and end up losing them for good? This is a common fear, and it stems from our natural tendency to cling to attachments. However, let me share an important truth with you. Those who are truly meant to be a part of your life will not require you to chase after them or persuade them to stay. What is destined for you will not demand that you sacrifice your own well-being in an effort to hold on tightly. To illustrate this concept, let's consider a metaphor that might resonate with you. Imagine yourself standing in a flowing river, desperately trying to grasp a leaf that is drifting past you. The current is strong, pulling the leaf further away, yet you continue to reach out, grasping and struggling to maintain your hold. In doing so, you become so fixated on that single leaf that you overlook the beauty and wonder surrounding you in the river. However, if you choose to let go of the leaf and allow it to float away with the current, you liberate yourself to explore and appreciate all the other magnificent experiences the river has to offer. Detachment does not equate to indifference. Rather, it signifies a deep respect for yourself, allowing you to release what is not meant to remain in your life. By doing so, you open yourself up to new possibilities and connections that may be waiting just around the bend. The essence lies in freeing up mental and emotional room for opportunities that align with your core values, those that don't demand trading your inner calm for temporary gains. Let's reflect on this fundamental truth. Undisturbed serenity represents the ultimate measure of prosperity. Without this foundation, even monumental successes become fragile constructs. Consider the wisdom of Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who observed, no one who craves endless acquisitions ever achieves fulfillment, while those content with authentic needs discover wholeness. This insight reveals that constantly seeking external validation, whether through social media likes, professional accolades, or material possessions, creates bottomless hunger. True empowerment emerges when we appreciate organic growth and natural rhythms. Embracing non-attachment means believing in life's unfolding narrative. I understand, releasing familiar patterns can feel like stepping off a cliff into mist-covered voids. But here's the paradigm shift. What we perceive as terrifying plunges often become liberating skydives. Clinging to outdated stories doesn't protect us, it anchors us in stagnation. Let's solidify this realization together. Repeat with conviction, releasing what no longer fits honors my authentic self. Internalize this truth through daily practice until it becomes second nature. For instance, imagine decluttering your schedule to prioritize meaningful relationships, or politely declining projects that don't align with your purpose. These concrete actions demonstrate how strategic release creates space for genuine abundance. But don't stop there. Take a moment to express your thoughts in the comments section. Let others see your journey, and more importantly, let yourself be seen. It's time to demonstrate to the world that you are ready to let go of what no longer serves you. Trust in your own judgment enough to release those burdens. If this resonates with you, go ahead and hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe, because next, we will explore the fascinating concept of how scarcity can actually enhance value, and how your absence can transform into your greatest asset. Now, let's discuss the sixth point. Scarcity fosters reflection. When you step back, it allows others to truly notice your worth. There's a saying that you don't appreciate what you have until it's no longer there. While it may sound like a cliché, these phrases endure for a reason. They encapsulate a truth that many of us often overlook. Today, we are going to fully embrace that truth. In situations of betrayal or when you decide to walk away, society often suggests that the only way to be acknowledged is to remain present. We are told to keep showing up, to continue giving, and to constantly remind others of our value. However, Here's where we can change that perspective. Your absence can convey a message that is far more powerful than your presence ever could. Scarcity indeed prompts reflection, and your absence compels others to truly see you. Let me set the scene for you. Picture the sun disappearing from the sky. One day it's there, providing warmth, light, and a sense of constancy. The next day, it's gone. What happens then? The world begins to freeze. The cold starts to seep in. The lack of that familiar warmth becomes strikingly obvious. Suddenly, everyone feels the difference. That's you. That's your energy. When you're always present, always giving, always showing up, you're like the sun. So reliable that people start to take your light for granted. But the moment you withdraw that light, the chill is felt in a whole new way. The emptiness becomes unmistakable. And I know some of you might be wondering right now, but what if they don't notice? What if they don't care? That's just fear speaking. This is the part of you that's been programmed to think your worth depends on being physically present. It's the belief that if you're not constantly in their line of sight, they'll overlook you. But here's the reality: genuine value doesn't disappear when you're not around. In fact, it often becomes more visible. Think of it like the sun. Its presence is so routine we rarely notice it, but when it's gone, we suddenly realize how much we relied on its warmth. This is the hidden power shift people never talk about. When you're absent, the space you leave behind forces others to learn a lesson their ego would have blocked while you were there. See, when you're always available and giving, their ego grows complacent. It assumes it can always tap into your energy, your kindness, your presence. But when you step back and create distance, their ego starts to feel the absence. This emptiness prompts them to reflect on what they've taken for granted. Let me share another analogy that might resonate. Imagine a well. If the bucket is always full, people never question how deep the water goes. They just come, take what they need, and leave without a second thought. But one day, they lower the bucket and find it empty, dry, barren, revealing the true depth they never considered. This moment of scarcity forces them to confront the value they previously ignored. Out of the blue, people start to question the origins of their feelings, pondering what might have gone awry, and considering just how profound the situation truly is. This is the impact of your absence. It compels others to reflect on their circumstances. However, the reason this can feel so challenging is that scarcity often resembles a gamble. It feels like taking a step back and risking everything you have. It can evoke the thought, if I'm not present, perhaps they will simply move on without me. But let me assure you, my friends, that this is merely fear speaking. It's the deceptive narrative that keeps you tethered to individuals and situations that fail to appreciate your worth. The reality is that what genuinely matters will not vanish in your absence. Instead, it will come to recognize your true value more distinctly. Allow me to share a profound insight from the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, who wisely stated, "If someone can demonstrate to me that my thoughts or actions are incorrect, I will gladly change, for I am in pursuit of the truth." This highlights that reflection is a pathway to discovering truth. Yet, people tend to avoid introspection when they are comfortable. It is only when that comfort fades, when the warmth is lost, or when the well runs dry that they begin to reflect. Here's the crucial point: you should not create scarcity as a means of manipulation. You do not withdraw to engage in mind games. Instead, you step back to safeguard your inner peace and to affirm your own worth. By stepping back, you create an opportunity for others to truly understand who you were, not through what you said or how you explained yourself, but through the emptiness your absence leaves behind. Let's be honest, waiting in that silence isn't easy. It can feel like standing alone at the edge of a cliff, questioning whether anyone will even realize you're no longer there. But here's the truth: they will feel it. It might not happen immediately, and it might not unfold the way you anticipate, but the realization will come. Why? Because absence has a way of making people reflect. Scarcity forces attention. So, my friends, I want you to embrace this shift in power. Repeat after me: my absence teaches the lesson. Say it again, louder this time. Let those words resonate, just like the space you're intentionally creating. And don't just say it, own it. Write it down in the comments, declare it boldly. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world that you're no longer willing to be endlessly available. That you believe in the strength of your absence. And if this resonates with you, go ahead and hit that like button. If these words are resonating somewhere deep in your spirit, go ahead and stay connected, because what comes next is all about leveling up. Our next step is to explore why you should never, ever stoop to someone else's negative behavior, even when you feel hurt or betrayed. Choosing to rise above treachery is not just a feel-good slogan, it is the most strategic power move you can make. Point number 7, aim higher, do not descend to their level. You have probably heard the saying, when they go low, we rise high. It sounds like a simple Instagram quote, yet it contains a force that many people underestimate. Today, we are reclaiming that force. When someone betrays your confidence, disrespects your name, or tries to drag your reputation through the mud, a natural instinct tells you to get down in the dirt with them, trade punches, return the insult, bite back like a cornered snake. But that arena is not where your real strength lies. Your strength is found at a higher altitude, both emotionally and mentally. Picture this, an eagle never wrestles a snake on the ground. Why? Because the ground is the snake's territory, there it can coil, strike, and entangle its opponent with ease. The eagle understands that if it plays by the snake's rules, it forfeits its own advantage. So what does the eagle do? It swoops down, snatches the snake, and ascends into the sky, the eagle's natural realm. Up there, the air becomes thin, the snake loses its leverage, and the bird of prey holds all the power. That, my friend, is your blueprint. Whenever someone tries to pull you into a messy battle, elevate the situation instead. Refuse to engage in petty back-and-forth skirmishes. Keep your focus on your personal growth, your goals, and your values. By maintaining the higher ground, you deprive the other person of the environment they need to keep the conflict alive. Over time, they will run out of energy and influence, just like a snake gasping for breath in the open sky, while you continue to soar unbothered. Rising above does not mean you ignore injustice or pretend you feel no pain. It means you choose deliberate, principle-based responses over reactive, emotionally charged retaliation. That decision preserves your self-respect, protects your peace of mind, and demonstrates true leadership. In short, elevating your perspective is not only morally satisfying, it is tactically brilliant. So whenever betrayal knocks at your door, remember the eagle and the snake. Lift the conflict into an atmosphere where only you can thrive, and watch how quickly your opponent's advantage disappears. Aspire to greater heights and resist the gravitational pull of negativity. It's easy to get entangled in the quagmire of gossip, revenge, and retaliation, but remember, engaging with chaos only fuels its fire. Instead, choose to elevate the situation to a realm where turmoil cannot survive. This can be a daunting task, as our innate human response often urges us to stand our ground, defend our reputation, and ensure our adversaries understand the pain they've inflicted. This instinctual reaction seeks to balance the emotional ledger, making them feel the weight of their actions. However, the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius offers a profound alternative. The most effective form of revenge lies in embodying the very opposite of those who have wronged you. This is the essence of rising above betrayal, a deliberate choice to not let the actions of others define your character. When you succumb to their level, you inadvertently mirror their turmoil, trading your serenity for a turbulent existence. Conversely, by refusing to engage on their terms, you assert your distinction, reminding both yourself and others that you operate on a higher plane, one that remains inaccessible to those mired in chaos. To illustrate this concept more vividly, picture yourself standing atop a mountain, surrounded by crisp, clean air. From this vantage point, the clutter and noise of the world below seem distant and manageable, symbolizing the clarity and peace that come with choosing the higher ground. Imagine standing on a high vantage point where the expansive view stretches out before you, and the clamor of the world below fades into a hushed whisper. Now, picture someone from the valley below shouting at you. You have several options. You could descend and engage in a heated argument, getting down into the fray, or you could choose to remain where you are, high above it all, untouched and undisturbed. This is where your true strength lies. This is what it means to embody Stoic elevation. It's about maintaining your focus on personal virtue and growth, even when the world around you attempts to draw you into its chaotic noise. I understand that inner voice that tells you to respond. It might say, if I don't retaliate, they'll think they've won. But let's reframe that perspective. The individual who remains composed amidst turmoil possesses the genuine power. When you choose not to be dragged into the mess, when you maintain your inner peace, you send a clear message to everyone, including yourself. Your energy is not something to be bartered with, and you won't engage in conflicts that don't serve you. Here's a hard truth that might resonate deeply. Those who have betrayed you have already lost. They have forfeited access to your light, your loyalty, and your love. There's no need for you to prove anything to them. Your journey of growth, your tranquility, and your elevation are the true indicators of your worth. That is the true victory. While others remain trapped in their repetitive patterns, you are out there elevating yourself, progressing, and improving, not merely in spite of your past experiences, but because of them. However, let's be honest, this journey is not without its challenges. To rise above requires a great deal of discipline, a clear vision, and the understanding that your future holds greater significance than the difficulties of the present moment. Believe me, my friends, the effort is absolutely worthwhile. When you choose to rise, when you stand firm against adversity, you establish a benchmark, not only for how others perceive and treat you but also for how you regard and treat yourself. So, at this moment, I encourage you to take a deep breath and absorb this message. Repeat after me, loud and with conviction, I rise above the trail. Say it once more, allowing it to resonate within you. And don't stop there, express it in the comments. Demonstrate it. Show yourself and the world that you are finished with playing it small, that you are done with fighting on the ground. You are ready to elevate this battle to new heights. If you're feeling that surge of strength within you, go ahead and hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe, because we're about to wrap this up on a powerful note. Today, we're diving into the concept of creating a life that others no longer recognize. Imagine a life so vibrant and serene that the betrayals you've faced fade into insignificance. Let's discuss the eighth and final empowering step, crafting a life that is unrecognizable to those who once tried to undermine you. Just like a phoenix rises from its own ashes, you too must endure the flames to emerge anew. This is the ultimate truth I want to share with you, my friends. When betrayal strikes, it can feel like the end of everything you've worked hard to build, as if a fire has swept through and consumed it all. But here's the crucial part that often goes unspoken. From those very ashes, you will rise, transformed, stronger, and wiser, unrecognizable to those who sought to break you. They believed that the flames would lead to your destruction, but in reality, they were the catalyst for your transformation. Let's dispel the most significant misconception once and for all. Betrayal did not break you, it built you. It removed what was never meant to remain in your life, clearing the way for you to reconstruct your existence. You will emerge stronger, sharper, and untouchable. This is the final empowering step towards creating a life that is so rich, so tranquil, and so elevated that those who once tried to tear you down will no longer recognize the incredible person you have become. At this very moment, I invite you to join me in saying these words aloud: I am reborn stronger. Allow that powerful declaration to emerge from the depths of your soul. But don't let it stop there. Take a moment to type it into the comments section below. Make it visible, to others, to yourself, and to the entire world. Prove that the ashes of past struggles didn't signify the end for you. Instead, they marked the start of something extraordinary. If these words resonate deeply with you, go ahead and hit that like button. And while you're at it, consider subscribing, because this is only the beginning of your upward journey. Stick around, my friends, because the most incredible moments are still waiting for us just up ahead.